Let's get some of this Joel chapter 2. Go ahead, bro. We didn't finish 4? Okay, we'll finish 4. Go ahead.
I was talking to a brother, Ethiopian partner, the other day. I think it was really yesterday. So people make their choice, really. And then when we're talking about that, it can't hit me in a different way, but people make their choice, especially when they know the people that we meet. It's okay. You got internet, you got books. You got the information,
right?
As far as that goes, you know what I know,
right? So
you make a choice. You know what I'm saying? Especially when we came here and we learned, people make their choice for real. They make their choice to leave and go the other way. They make a choice. Free will, right? It's free will, right? I mean, it may be like wow, but they do.
But see, in the wilderness, whether you knew it or not, everybody gets a fair chance to get it right.
That's why he said, plead.
He gonna plead with you. That's wrong. Slap your hand. Let's do it again. But you keep going, and then you allow Satan into the cleansing point. It's gonna be a problem. Understand, this is why Satan was allowed in the wilderness of Eden. We was coming out of the wilderness because the first world flood had been destroyed. Satan was out in there just chilling. He's like, I'm gonna get him. Adam was getting his nourishment at this point. He said, I'm gonna get him. But he couldn't get Adam. He went through his rib. But he still ended up getting him. Satan used every trick in the book, y'all. When I say every trick in the book, you better know every trick in the book. You better study your enemy. See, we're not talking about studying, you may hear the term, your right man is this and that. That ain't your enemy. It's who's training him. Let's get some of this, y'all.
Joel chapter 2.
Hold on, we got to finish
that. Numbers chapter 3, verse 4. And Nadab and Abihu died before the Lord when they offered strange fire before the Lord in the wilderness of Sinai. And they had no children. And Eleazar and Ithamar ministered in the priest's offices in the sight of Aaron their father.
Okay, go ahead. So he put it on them out there, and we know the rest of them stories. What Moses, everybody on the Lord's side stand over here and send them out and just start slaying in the wilderness. Same way, y'all. It's gonna happen the same way. Let's get some of this. Joel chapter 2. And y'all, we moving into when you come out of the wilderness, because we see that fleeing first is always spiritual. Abraham got conditioned first, right, in his mind before he left his father's house. Broke all his father's idol down, and the Most High knew it was going to be a problem for him. He had to get out of there. He said, I'm going to call you out of that land, but I'm going to bring your mind going to be right first. Circumcise his heart. And then he circumcised his flesh.
Right.
After he come out and say, I'm going to show you this land. But guess what? Abraham never saw that land, but hoped to see it. He saw it supernaturally, but he never did get a chance to do what Joshua and the rest of it. Moses didn't do it either. Didn't get to see it either, but that hope was there, y'all. If you want to see a wilderness, or you want to see the kingdom, no, it ain't nothing that you can see. You can't Google up and look at what's over there in Demona. That ain't the kingdom. Or what Jim Jones had it at over in there at some Gilligan Island huts. Guyana town. Let's get some of this.
What verse is it?
Let's start about verse 1.
Okay, Joel. Chapter 2.
And what we're moving to now is when we come out of the wilderness, we going into what's called the Garden of Eden, because the garden is the planting of the Lord, and we are his seeds. So he's sending us to a land that's going to be fertile with the branches and the root of his doctrine. See, because when Christ came in Isaiah 51, when Christ came in 51, in Isaiah 51, it say he came in a season that it was dry ground. There was no man to till the ground. It was dry. Because he asked, who the man saying? Well, some say you this, some say reincarnation. Mars Hill was there. They was teaching all this crazy stuff. Same thing with Adam. He said, but there was no man to till the ground yet. The word of God hadn't went forth. Same way. That don't mean it hadn't rained yet. It just meant it was dry ground, meaning the word is living water.
Lack of faith.
Lack of faith is dry ground.
Right.
And when you dry it out, you dehydrated and you thirsty. And you're going to wither away. If you ain't got living water, that's even with the physical water we got to have today.
So for him to grow up out of dry ground,
right?
So he should be a root out of dry ground.
See, and understand what that's saying. That's very powerful. He was a root out of dry. Roots don't last in dry ground.
Right.
Once that ground is dry, you never be able to plant there again. It's like what, a dog, you have to change your tree to keep running around. I don't care what grass seeds you can put in there. You can put Kentucky bluegrass, you can put Tiger Woods back nine grass there, it ain't growing. But Christ grew out of that. Same way that Adam grew out of that same thing, out of dry ground. Let's get some more of this.
Joel chapter 2, verse 1. Blow ye the trumpet in Zion.
What we gonna do, Mally?
Blow ye the trumpet in Zion, and sound an alarm in my holy mountain. Let all the inhabitants of the land tremble, for the day of the Lord cometh, for it is nigh at hand. A day of darkness and of gloominess, a day of clouds and of thick darkness, as the morning spread upon the mountains. A great people and a strong, there have not been ever the like, neither shall be any more after it, even to the years of many generations. A fire devours before them, and behind them a flame burneth. The land is as the Garden of Eden before them, and behind them a desolate wilderness. Yea, and nothing shall escape them.
So we see here that what's in front of us, and is always there in the wilderness. Just like the promised land was before us. And that's the Garden of Eden, the land of plenty. Same thing, coming out of that first flood, it was the Garden of Eden. So in like manner, this thing, and we're going to get some scriptures where the new kingdom coming down will be looked at as the Garden of Eden. Let's get some of this Isaiah 51, 1 through 3.
Isaiah 51. Go down to 7 on it down.
Yeah, that's good, man.
No, 1 to 3. Isaiah 51. 51 he wrote.
51. 1 through 3. Very good concerning Abraham.
Anybody got their windows down? Just start praying.
I'm going to go down to 7. That's a good one about the long heart.
No doubt. If you don't get that there, it's gonna be nothing but because you don't know what to do in the wilderness. Because it's all on the surface. You're gonna be quote things you heard the preacher say and they ain't gonna be right. Because his favorite line in the Bible somewhere it say. You start repeating that. You need to know where it said that. Y'all done heard with that Martin Luther King draw on it. Church, I want to talk to you today because in the Bible somewhere it says. Somebody just need to holler out, where it said that? Yeah, we paying for this.
So hand on my pocket.
Your pocket out of my hand.
Isaiah chapter 51, y'all.
Verse 1. How we looking? Everybody there? Isaiah 51 and 1. Hearken to me, ye that follow after righteousness, ye that seek the Lord. Look unto the rock whence ye are hewn, and to the hole of the pit whence ye are digged. Look unto Abraham your father, and unto Sarah that bare you. For I called him alone and blessed him, and increased him.
And when it said, look to Sarah that bare you, she is the mother of Isaac, the beginning of Jacob, and the 12 tribes. So it's just saying that in a sense. You know, let's take it back that far. To the righteous people, the beginning of the Hebrew race. Let's look all the way back there. Let's get some more of that.
Verse 3. For the Lord shall comfort Zion. He will comfort all her waste places. And he will make her wilderness like Eden, and her desert like the garden of the Lord. Joy and gladness shall be found therein, thanksgiving and the voice of melody. Verse 4. Hearken unto me, my people,
and give ear unto me, O my nation. For a law shall proceed from me, and I will make my judgment to rest for a light of the people. My righteousness is nourished, my salvation is gone forth, and mine arm shall judge the people. The isles shall wait upon me, and on mine arm shall they trust. Lift up your eyes to the heavens, and look upon the earth beneath. For the heavens shall vanish away like smoke, and the earth shall wax old like a garment, and they that dwell therein shall die in like manner. But my salvation shall be forever, and my righteousness shall not be abolished. Hearken unto me, ye that know righteousness, the people in whose heart is my law.
Where that matter?
The people in whose hearts is my law. Fear ye not the reproach of men, neither be ye afraid of their revelings.
See, we're saying the whose law is in the heart. It's not in your lips. See, our lips can holler law all day. We good at that. We some lip law champions. But when it comes down to the heart, that means when you get angry, law gonna come out of your mouth. See, a lot of times when we get angry, what comes out is what you've been feeling, really. You know, sometimes they say a drunk body speaks a sober mind. You know, when they get drunk, they tell everything then. Get old boy drunk at the family reunion. What's up, Junior? You know that ain't your real dad.
So you ought to know sooner or later.
The lips of the heart. See, when Christ got angry in the temple because the law resided in his heart, that was a righteous anger. The way he whooped on them and got them out of there was no anger like the anger that we get. That old player hating anger, we get like that one boy just, he kind of tried to broke it out when he said player hate neither. Mad cause you ain't got what somebody else got. And you mad cause you ain't got it. Cause they got it. Player hate. You know, so you mad about nothing. So if you angry because you mad about nothing, and that resides in your heart, as soon as some ticks it off, that's going to be released. And it's going to be hard to take that back. Because the tongue is hard to be tamed, according to Proverbs 3. They say you're a big old ship, but the only thing that control an ocean liner is that little, what do they call that thing? The rudder that turns it back and forth. It controls that ship. They say the tongue is the smallest member of the body, but it's hard to contain. Even when we keep it secrets. Please, man, don't mention this to nobody. First off, that's the problem one. Because you trust him past the level you should. And even if you do trust him, he got somebody he trusts on that level. Please, man, don't repeat this to nobody. By the end of the week, it's 50 people know that. And then when the June come out, oh man, I been told that. Yeah, man, old boy told me that last June. You know, you're like, what? So y'all, the tongue is powerful. It gives curses and blessings. So you have to get the law in your heart. So when you get angry, the only thing that comes forth is the